collectors, this is me, Daniel East 1000, back again with another Star Wars The Black Series figure review. Today we're going to be continuing our celebration of Episode 1's 25th anniversary with a cheeky little Hasbro Pulse exclusive. This is indeed a PulseCon exclusive, and I've been really chomping at the bit to get my hands on it, and I immediately hit that order button when it went live. I am of course referring to the Battle Droid and STAP Figgy and Vehicle Pack. First, as always, before taking a look at the figure itself, we're going to have a look at the packaging, of which, I had to show this off in the box to begin with. I couldn't leave it hollow. I had to let you guys have a nice little look at it because that is gorgeous, and I can completely appreciate anyone who would want to keep this in the box minty fresh. What an awesome throwback. Really, really cool stuff. Of course, you've got the 6-inch STAP there and the Battle Droid. If you just look at the backdrop as well, you've got a Naboo swamp sort of theming going on there. Just really sets the figure off absolutely beautifully in that packaging. You've got a notation about the 25th anniversary of Star Wars: The Phantom Menace. Star Wars: Phantom Menace at the bottom there, name of the figure and vehicle set. Of course, you've got that black and red mall theme going on, of which was very synonymous for that toy line back in the day. Just moving around, you've got some notation about some of the features, some nice artwork there. Star Wars Episode 1 at the top. Similar sort of dealio on this side as well. Nothing to really ring home about. Of course, on the back, you've got a picture from the film, name of the figure and vehicle set, Star Wars Episode 1, and a bio, as well as a ton of legal garb and mention about Star Wars The Black Series there as well. Same at the bottom, we've got just a ton of legal garb there, and at the very top, you've just got that Phantom Menace theming going on. So that's the packaging out of the way and done with. Let's now take a look at the figure and vehicle itself.
Stay down!
So here we have the STAP itself, out of the packaging and in hand. And man, this thing is absolutely awesome. I love it. Really cool to see vehicles in the Black Series line. I think Black Series is more suited for smaller scale vehicles like this, sort of like speeders. Perfect. And Hasbro have done an amazing job with this particular one. As such, I'd really like to see a recolour of it. Give it me in that Separatist blue, even repack it with the Clone Wars Anakin, and I'm hook, line and sinker. Maybe even a training version in all white with the sort of target marks, just to give your clones some target practice. That would be pretty cool. But no, we've got it in this Phantom Menace brown colour scheme. Well, it's pretty synonymous for, really. Of course, you've got a re-release Battle Droid there as well. Quite interesting to note, there is some subtle variance to that, mainly in terms of its weathering and wash, of which has a real Phantom Menace figgy feel. If you ever had one of the old Phantom Menace droids, then you'll know what I mean. Compare this to one of your Phantom Menace droids, it definitely has a similar wash to that. So it feels like Hasbro's cracked out an old formula there, of which is really, really sweet. And it definitely is different to your other ranks, just because if you look at the backpack, a really cool little attention to detail, a little reference, is the fact that he has 1138 on there, of which of course a reference to George Lucas's film THX 1138. Really, really cool stuff. I love that little bit of detail just on there. But like I said, the Battle Droid is a straight up repack. There's nothing really special to ring home about. Comes with all the same accessories, other than the fact that of course that backpack has that additional bit of numbering detailing going on there. Can store the blaster on the backpack as well, and of course there is a swap out sort of antennae, comes in the form of this. I have reviewed the Battle Droid. If you want to see a more in-depth review of that, link will be up there. It's basically the same stuff. I'm not going to run into the articulation because it is all the same. Of course, the Battle Droid does sit on that really, really nicely. I've left the elastic bands attached just to keep him secured onto it. But his feet do sit on these pedals here. of which do have, I believe, little pegs so that they do slot into the foot holes. But yeah, you can really get the figure posed up in some really dynamic and action orientated poses on this thing. As for the STAP, just having a look at some of the details, of course you've got the top head there. In terms of the articulation on it, the sort of cannons can move up and down. It's a little bit tight on mine. So you can position the battle droid in various different ways on that. Also, as you can see, it is on this display stand, of which is quite interestingly moulded. So it's designed to slot into the bottom of the STAP, which secures there, and then you've got a ball joint and socket so you can sort of pose it. In terms of paint application, like I said, it is just brown. There's a couple little paint chips and marks there to signify battle damage. You've got the engines, and then of course the guns as well, all picked out, really nicely painted. There's not really a hell of a lot to say about this thing. It's just really, really nice. It was a pretty big surprise when they announced it, and I'm so glad that they've actually done this. Again, if we can get some different colour variations of it, that would be awesome. Variation in terms of the battle droid colour. The STAP itself looks absolutely wonderful, and I can only but recommend this to you if you are an episode 1 fan. Even more so if you are going to keep it in the packaging, because this is one that I could foresee myself definitely getting again, purely to keep it in box. Again, there's really not a lot for me to talk about with this thing. I wanted to keep it a bit short and sweet, just give you a general overview of it. I'm super pleased that I've picked it up, but let me know what you guys think. Have you picked this up? Are you intending to pick it up? Sound off in the comments down below. And well, this is me, Daniel East 1000, signing out. Thank you very much for watching.